Hey good people, and thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Goody Be Knowing. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this channel so you can get live updates and alerts when we have new episodes, new content. It's all rolling in. Make sure you are the first one to find out when that happens. Come on and be a part of the family. Go ahead and hit it. It don't take nothing. Hit it. Yeah. Hey good people, and welcome to another episode of Goody Be Knowing, where just a 30-something-year-old black woman who's always talking about her issues and her dramas transparently. It's been a lot going on as 'tis the season. We are coming down to the last end stretch of the year. 2023 has been a doozy, to say to the least, but it definitely inspired how I want to end the year out, but also what I want to end the year talking about. And so that has prompted me to obviously talk about setting yourself free. And it is so imperative. I think we have this misconception of when the new year starts, we are going to become this new, brand new, sparkling, clean person. And I think in hindsight, we are. But a lot of things don't just magically happen at the snap of our fingers. And like I said, at the start of this month, I wanted to end the year in a space where we just are thriving. I'm not waiting for the new year to start. I'm just thriving. And I don't know how that looks. I don't know what the conversation is, but essentially we have to not make these pillars and these markers of what society expects us to be, but we have to be in this space of where am I growing, thriving in my season, and how do I need to catapult and start my career. Most people have been like, oh, it's December, I really don't know how I feel about things, I really don't know if I want to start things, I don't really know if I want to do things. But this month of December for me has definitely incited, how can I start crawling? Maybe how can I start taking baby steps to catapult what I want to do next year? I want to set the foundation right now. And we continuously think about things that are going to set us free. I am a key component of you first have to make yourself happy. We all know, I wish I could do content 24/7, but in my real job, I inspire teenagers. And as I talk to them, I say inspire because I want to plant a seed in them that grows. I don't want to just start their motor and tune them up and motivate them for the moment. I want to plant a seed and inspire them to be whatever it is they want to be. And as I talk to them, I see in myself as how I want to inspire myself, how I want to dream, how I want to believe. And I think I'm in a constant everyday job where you're always talking about your dreams and what you believe in and what you want to do and what you want to be. And so it's always in my face, prevalent of, come on girl, get your shit together. Come on girl, come on now, like, get on it, like, come on now, you can't just keep talking about it, you gotta be about it. And so, I think for me, it's always constantly relevant to think about, am I providing this service, am I doing this myself, am I taking my own advice? But, in the same aspect, I'm thinking like, yes, I am, I'm listening to myself. I get to constantly manifest and uplift myself in the morning, but then I get to go into the field and motivate other students and listen to myself on how I truly want to be as a person, and I want to put myself in a space of freedom. That may be financial freedom. That may be mental freedom. That may be spiritual freedom. That may be freedom of obligations. That may be anything you're thinking about. That may be a barrier, a weight, something that you are constantly dealing with on a regular day-to-day basis, but you haven't put yourself in a position to unlock the key. When I talk to kids and I talk to athletes and I talk to people in general, it is always, you are the master of your own destiny. You own the keys to your car. You own the keys to your success. All you got to do is unlock it. Right? And so that is why it is so imperative that you are the master of your happiness. You are the master of your peace. You are the master of your comfort zone. But also you are the master of manifesting and acting in what you want to prove to be true. There has been nothing in my life that I haven't wanted more to just talk in front of the camera. Talk in front of TV. Get on there and show my personality. Be out here and be the best goody. That is all I've ever aspired to be. Talking to myself in the mirror, thinking I'm gonna be the next Ayala. I'm gonna be the next Oprah. I'm gonna be the next person that drops the news in sports. I'm gonna be the most insightful person. But I'm not acting on it. And all of this technology, all this space in, I know this will make me ultimately happy. But how do I get to it? How do I achieve it to put myself in a position to have a level of happiness, peace, fulfillment, joy, freedom? How can I create that for myself in my own bubble, in my own world? And whoever tunes in, whoever becomes a good people, whoever becomes a part of the family, it's just like, to me, I want to do what God has always called me to do. I could talk to people for hours and hours and hours. Tell me to get on this camera, tell me to edit it, tell me to do, baby, I'm going to drag my feet. As y'all should know if you follow me, as you're coming along the journey, and I'm getting better and better and better and better and better, but it's like I'm constantly talking to myself, talking myself out of it, talking to myself, talking myself out of it. That's a real thing. And the crazy part about it is, outside of wanting to be an athlete, wanting to get a scholarship, wanting to just play collegiately, and being this media mogul, they are on the almost same level. And it's like, when you talk about something that you have to do independently, it's just, I sometimes do not have that confidence, and that's not giving me the freedom. It's not giving me the joy. That's why I'm going to come on here and talk about what I want to talk about. I'm going to come on here and be real. I'm going to come in here and be transparent. Wait till I get into the sports, because all my male viewership that I got right now, just trust and believe, I am the person that's like, hey, I'll argue with the best of them. Male, female, it don't matter. I'll talk that talk when it comes to sports. But I just want to be authentically myself. I want to be okay with who I wake up as Goody. Don't we all? Don't we want to wake up and feel fulfilled within ourselves? And I think that's one thing that women do. I don't know, my men can get in the comments, but as women, solitude, isolation, focusing on us, come out 10 times bigger and better. And that's kind of the season I'm in. I just want to pour into me. I just want to be able to be cool with me. When I step out, I'm good as me. When I'm on this camera, I'm good as me. When I'm moving, I'm good as me. When I'm doing me, I'm good as me. When I'm a mom, I'm good as me. I want to be comfortable. And sometimes, even in parenting, even in our careers, we just want to follow the status quo. We want to be perfect. We want to move as a way of, like, this is what the expectation is of me. so I should do it. I'm 30 something and I'm not married. Oh my God, it's the end of the world. Oh, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businesswoman. I'm a career woman and I have a child. Oh my God, you're a single mother. Oh my God. The pile of list of things that people can constantly throw on you, you throw on yourself. Just like the judgment is constant. And I'm not saying because you are in a space of freedom that you won't be judged or you won't be criticized or you won't be talked about, or that I'm not saying that won't necessarily come, but trust and believe when you move in the way you want to move. Okay, crazy enough. My friends love Beyonce. I enjoy Beyonce. I'm not a part of the Beehive or love Beyonce. This is nothing personal. Okay? I enjoy Beyonce. I look up to her as a businesswoman, as a mother. I enjoy all of those parts. I enjoy her music as well. But I'm not a part of the Beehive, you know? And so my friends that are a part of the Beehive, salute to them. Beehive, all love. They took me to go see her documentary. And I'm a documentary girly. So, worst case scenario, I'm like, hey, free movie, popcorn, documentary, black woman. It's all lining up, you know, to success and music, and we just acting like it's a concert. So, mind you, one of my friends had already seen it. My other friend had went to the concert. So, this is just like a, you know, yeah. And I go and I enjoy myself. It was a great girls' night out. But I enjoyed the documentary because her work ethic, impeccable. Having her kids alongside her is something that I imagine. I think a lot of content creators are getting into that space and they show their kids and they're all intertwined, and that is a space that I definitely want to build. As I build my enterprise, I want to be able to have my family. I want to be able to have my kids. I want them to be comfortable. And so I don't necessarily need them to thrive to make my content, but I want them to be able to where I can work and they know and what the expectation is and all those type of things. So it's like seeing that and then just seeing how she runs her show and to the T, perfectionist on it. Bop, 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 bop. It looks like it's such a hard work and it's hard expectation, and you see the rigor and you see all of that, but her freedom is immaculate. Being able to orchestrate, design, have every chef's kiss to every aspect of what makes you happy. What gives you joy, what gives you peace, but also brings happiness to others. Just like you being your authentically dope self and that creating joy and just an upliftment of people. Crazy inspiring. Crazy inspiring. Okay? Don't know all the new songs, knew a few, knew all the old stuff, of course, but it was just inspiring to watch, inspiring to see. And so I just sat there kind of in awe. Immaculate show, put together, crazy lights, crazy, just everything that you think of when it comes to a show, a performance, the dedication to your craft, all those things. And it's like, man, I look at myself like, girl, what the hell are you doing? Like, we gotta step it up. Because all things are possible. All things are doable if you are willing to manifest and put in the work. Because essentially, I'm not saying YouTube videos is going to create a freedom, but it's going to create me a voice. And how it grows, that's God. I'm not super, I'm going to be on this, but I know what I pray for. I know what I try to manifest. I know what powers support me and uplift me. So when I think about things in the grand scope and how me, Goody, can allow myself to take the key, and that's all powered by my ancestors, that's all powered by God, that's all powered by the support, that's all power. All of that gives me confidence to turn the key to set myself free. And I know internal freedom is my ultimate goal. Internal peace is my ultimate goal. For a long time, I stayed away from the word happiness because I feel like happiness is a fickle emotion. To be happy. Because to be happy, I can be sad. There's always a combative opposite to this, right? And so in being happy, I always felt like that was fickle. But I wanted peace. Because ability to have peace through all circumstance, all situation, all obstacles, I'm going to be good. I have a cool, calm, level head when I'm at peace. I have no worry, no anxiety, no depression, nothing when I'm at peace. But when I'm happy, that happiness can last for a couple hours. And so it's sustainability of both. Can I be happy, laughing, kicking, cool, light moments? And then also, can I be in a place of peace where I know I'm good and I know I'm good enough to even be in those happy moments? Whether they're with fake people, whether they're with real people, whether they're with authentic people, whatever the crowd, I can adjust when I'm at peace. With me, we have so many built up insecurities, so much cloudedness, so much stuff that we just deal with on a constant basis. If we keeping it a buck. Are we keeping it a buck? Are we keeping it a buck? Because if we keeping it a buck, we just have so many things. Not just externally that's piled on us. Life, family, relationships, dynamics, jobs, careers, entrepreneurship, side businesses, side bitches. Oh, okay, my bad. Whatever you're dealing with exteriorly, right? Car, bills, whatever. And then your internal, and that could be hate too. You know, whatever you deal with exteriorly, add that on top of what you do internally, if we're keeping it a buck. The judgments, the insecurities, the fears that we have within, that is why that exterior stuff bothers us, impacts us, and throws us off track so much. That's why we are so much squirrel. I admit it. Because so many things are hitting me at once that I'm only obtaining what's emergency. I'm only addressing what's emergency first, and then we'll go back to the line. Emergency, then we'll handle what's back in the line afterwards. That doesn't necessarily put me in a position always to be free in all categories. Am I going to be free in all categories? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. But I want to seek to be in a position where I'm majority free. So when I'm in those 5 to 10% of gaps where I got to do some stuff that's necessary for the cause, but may not make me happy, may not bring me peace, may not bring me joy, or maybe some of it does, but it's just a drain to you. You are able to handle it way different, being in a different position to balance and address it, and it just knocks off your shoulder because now you see yourself and you move in such a different position than you did when you were dealing with your chaos, and you were dealing with your anger, and you were dealing with your side situations, your baby mama, baby daddy drama, and your all this, and your in-laws, and your family, and when you deal with a clusterfuck of shit, it can get convoluted. And then I'm not seeking to be in freedom. I'm just moving in the everyday mundane of life. I have done nothing but want to break off and break my wings and fly. And even if you are in a position where you are saying, I was here and I did this and I couldn't do this, you can always move out of it. You can always be like, hey, I'm ready to jump out. Now, I've always had a broken wing, but now my wing is feeling strong. Now I'm feeling in a position to where I want to change things and be in a better place, not just for me, but for the ultimate gamut of how I can grow, how I can seek this freedom, how I can find this ultimate thing. And I think, just advice-wise, for me, I think the first thing to getting to a place of freedom is being honest and transparent with yourself. If you are not real with yourself, you are the number one person who is placing a gate or a barrier in front of yourself. There has to be immaculate belief in you. And not just fraudulent, because I think sometimes, even for myself, like I get into this place of like, I'm number one hype man. Like I can hype myself up. That ain't a question. But now, follow through, consistency, discipline, all those type of things, I ain't so hype about. And so I lack in. And so if I'm seeking this freedom to be able to do what I want, say what I want, and I'm not saying say what I want to damage other people. I'm not saying to do what I want to damage other people. Obviously, this is a good space, good vibes. We ain't on none of that. You feel me? So, for me, I'm just saying, like, getting to a space where you are honest and transparent with you, first step. Second step, I would say, is do what your authentic self wants to do. If you like cars, do something that invests in cars. Do something around cars. Color card pictures. Like whatever will give you a solitude. Go to car shows. Whatever that gives you that solitude, be in those spaces. Because that's authentically you. That is your safe space. That is where you want to be anyway. If you like to draw, if you like to talk, if you like sports, whatever it is, get into that. And I think having a hobby, what I would say, number 2, having a personal investment that has nothing to do with your kids, has nothing to do with your job. If your job and your hobby align, great, but it doesn't have to. And being able to be in a position to do what you are passionate about. People like, I can't spend time with myself. I can't spend time in quietness. If you like Sudoku, if you like playing, if you like drawing, like for me, I like drawing. I like painting. I like when I'm in my creative side. It gives me such a totally different peace. It gives me such a totally different serenity. And I know that when I find myself doing it more, finding time for it more, it puts me in a totally different position in my state of mind. It puts me in a totally different peace. It puts me in a totally different tranquility. It allows me to find a space of peace. It allows me to find this freedom. It allows me to take my mind off whatever it is I'm thinking about, whatever it is I'm focusing on, whatever it is I'm hyper fixated on. It allows me to do that. It allows me to also like release, think. I journal a lot. I think that you have to divest in your hobbies in those gap moments. And a lot of people are like, oh, I am one of the most busiest people in the world. I find time to make time to do something in whatever I'm doing. Whether it's doing content for Goody Be Knowing, whether it's Goody Giving Game, I gotta market the brand, whether it's I got a clothing line, whether it's I need to divest into my sports media company, whatever it is, I can always find time to do something. And on top of, I have a real job and I'm a mother. So I can find a minute to do something. We run off a calendar. We run off a schedule. It's the only way we can operate. So when you talk about finding your gaps and finding those moments, it's pivotal to pencil in self-time. Pencil in things that make you happy, that are a priority to you. I would say thirdly, a key to freedom is finding a community which is interested in things that you like. I think sometimes, for me, it was easy to find a job and find a career in something that I liked and then create around that as I learned, advance as I learned, move as I obtain knowledge. For others, you can sometimes create that. Like I keep telling my mom, like, she's one of the dopest people just giving gems. If she just recorded herself, she probably, I don't know about her job, but she because sometimes she gets crazy, but I think if she just like had that platform for that, but she also is like super creative, super dope, has like this coffee shop idea. I think when you have the ability, obviously that comes to finances and some stuff like that, like brick and mortar, it comes to having finances, obviously, but just being able to dream and execute on your dream, I think is also a space of freedom. Because you always hear, like, I went to a HBCU, and so you always hear about history. Like I said, I love documentaries. We might start a little series on that, just talking about the documentaries I watch. But I love history. I love documentaries. I love obtaining knowledge, right? I love school because you're always getting new information and all this type of stuff. And so for me, like, gaining the knowledge about myself is always important. It's always changing. It's always growing, you know? My mom just said something hecka funny to me, like, adulthood is the ghettoest hood. Adulthood is the ghettoest hood, for sure. Like, this adulting thing is, wow, this is one reason why I started this podcast. I started this show because I just want to talk to adults as we go through obstacles and we go through changes and we go through situations. What is that really like? And I'm always trying, that's hence the name, Goody Giving Game, because I'm always trying to give the next generation something, some gems, some information that they can latch on to be like, hey, I remember Miss G, I remember Goody, I remember, you know what I mean? I remember when she said this and it helped me. Because I have those pivotal people in my life that I remember that told me something, that did something, that pushed me to a position to be who I am and what I am today. And so I think that is authentically me. That's always going to be authentically me. I think one of my number one trade lines, my brother is like, how can you Dr. Phil Ayala? How can you Ayala Goody? I think it's just on the same page of like giving wisdom as you endure life, going through certain obstacles, dealing with certain people, because I deal with a ton of people, a ton of lives, a ton of situations. It's just like, as I sift through this and go through this, man, I'm always picking up something. In every conversation, the next conversation leads to a gem or a fact that I'm going to give this person, this family, this something, whether it's an interaction with myself, whether it's something I dealt with another situation. It's always constant game that is being given. Free game at that. And I was like, man, I'm tired of like, I am obsessed with watching podcasts. I was a radio junkie when I was younger, so I listened to the radio. So I love the concept of podcasts because I can listen to it, but I can also watch the visual if the person's crazy, wild, you know what I mean? If they got charismatic camera skills, you know, I'll watch even more. But for me, it's like, I've always watched it. I'm obsessed with it. I am to the point where I know I can do it. It's not even a question. I know I can do it. So why am I not? I know I have the ability to edit. I know I have the ability to do this. Why am I not doing it? And this is probably one of my easier crafts and easier ventures and easier hobbies than probably my art stuff and going into that and my photography and all the other ventures. But I'm such a well-rounded, gifted person that I want to first show myself and the ability to commit to it, because this really gives me freedom. Coming on here and talking for a couple 45 minutes to an hour, it gives me the freedom and a joy unlike any other. Even just going through it, editing it, getting prepped for it, doing my makeup, getting ready. It's such a whole process to it that it's just like a game. It's just like a test. It's just like school. It's just like in my mind and how I function and work. And so I'm just like, man, I want to continue it. It gives me freedom. And for me, it's always been what can take me away from basketball, right? Basketball is probably my biggest, happiest, freest place. Whether I'm watching it, whether I'm playing it, whether I'm commentating on it, whether I'm whatever, shooting it. Basketball is just my zen. It's me. And when I am in that space, there's nothing like it. Coaching, whatever, it's nothing like it. So I've always moved in what gives me the same endorphins as basketball. And the only thing that does that is this. Talking about sports, obviously, definitely does. Talking about basketball, talking about football, being the woman that's just in your face with it. But it releases that same endorphin. Happiness, peace, joy, calmness, cool, collected, no worry, authentic, whatever. That's what it gives. And so I'm always, if it doesn't give that, then it can't. Because I can always go coach. I can always go mentor. I do mentor, but I can always go coach. I think that's the biggest thing right now. Like, you can always go coach. I can go do it every day. I can train. And I'm like, it don't give me the same endorphins no more as being a sideline reporter, doing media. It's a different space. Elevation. Doesn't give me the same ability to be able to do content, talk how I want, be how I want, and be authentically me. The kids love me because I'm authentically me. People gravitate to me because I'm authentically me. So if I'm not doing that on the camera, it's just like, the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just the energy. No matter how educated, no matter what ghetto I grew up in, no matter what places I go be, and I have to be authentically me. And I've always seeked a space, or sought. I'm acting childish right now. I always sought out a space where I could be that. And a lot of spaces didn't accept that. A lot of spaces still don't accept that. So create the space. You know, I'm not going to be a big name dropper, but I'll just watch people. I'm a people watcher. Crazy. Capricorn thing, maybe. Earth sign thing, maybe. I'm just extremely observant of people. And like Cam Newton, I'm going to create my own lane, my own space, my own everything. I'm going to create my own world where I can do everything. Yeah, I could talk about relationships. I could talk about not local, but I could talk about celebrity drama. I could talk about whatever's going on in the popular media, but also can get on here and talk about sports and get edited and give facts and da. You feel me? But I can also have all multitudes and all lanes of that. And the crazy part about it is, while I was hesitant and dragging my feet to create it, he is creating it, and now I'm like, that's me. I ain't been an MVP. I ain't been an all-star. I ain't been all-American. I haven't been as successful as an athlete, but I'm a former athlete who has always had personality, always been charismatic, always been on my thing, always, you know what I mean? Always been goody, just like he's always been Cam. And everybody doesn't accept that. Everybody doesn't want that. And that's where you got to create your own space of freedom. You are in control of that. You are in control of your own freedom. First episode, trust yourself. Trust who you are supposed to be and act on it. I am not coming into 2024 on no other mode than execution. I've been practicing, I've been watching, I've been studying, I've been gaming up, I've been doing all this shit. Keeping it real. I'm doing all this shit. And it's just like, do I want to be commercially correct? Do I want to be? No, I just want to be Goody. And whoever gravitates to that, it doesn't mean I'm going to be crazy. It doesn't mean I can't clean up. It doesn't mean I can't. But it's just like, I want to be authentically Goody. I want to be just Goody. And everybody's not going to like that. Everybody's not going to accept that. I'm not trying to be politically correct all the time. Again, I'm just trying to be Goody, because that is what's going to allow me the ultimate freedom. And that's what the ultimate goal is. You know what I mean? Like, you should be seeking that. If it's being the best mom, I am in my ultimate freedom in motherhood. When I step away when I need to. When I gotta work, I gotta work. When there's such an ultimate understanding, and I'm not saying I'm gonna do everything right or I'm doing everything right, but I'm comfortable. I'm not in the space of always judging my movement as a mother, or I'm not feeling bad because I'm going to work, or I'm going to do this, or I'm spending time editing this, or I gotta talk to them in this way, and I gotta do this. I'm not judging myself anymore, because I'm free in this space. And now I have to understand and translate to my kid good enough that this makes mommy happy. And I'm going to be able to deal with you and mother you and parent you in the best way I can, and also have my happiness. I don't work their ass off just to be able to put me in this position right now. Record myself, do whatever, push myself, be the best Goody to the world, because she said, hey, do what makes you happy, do what gives you peace, and I'm going to support it. That sometimes just don't happen. That don't happen a lot. And so I'm in a blessed situation, and even though I told y'all I've been being a grump, I can set myself free of that. I don't have to be negative. I don't have to feed into things. I don't have to do anything of that nature. We don't. And I know more and more and more I will speak to my good people. We as I speak in we don't have to submit to what society says, what the expectation is. We are seeking our own freedom. If we seek togetherness, if I seek to work with my brother, if I seek to work with my sister, I'm going to move in the intentions of my heart, what I want to do. Because at the end of the day, when I go in that casket, when I get my ashes made, whatever it is, I want to be okay with who I am at the end of the day. I want to be comfortable with the position I put myself in. I want to be comfortable, and if I keep dragging my feet, if I keep doubting myself, if I keep putting myself in a position where I'm just like, man, come on, you feel me? If we continuously keep doing that to ourselves, then will we ever get the results that we want? Will we ever get the results that we dream about, that we aspire about, that we talk about to ourselves like, man, what if, man, you know what I mean? Will we ever get to that place? Or at least put the next generation in a position to do accordingly. You know what I mean? Those are the things that just I think about when I think about setting myself free. I don't want to love begrudgingly because I've been hurt. I don't want to not do it because this is not the prototypical type and way of doing things. I don't want to not say it because that's not what moms say. Moms don't say they're struggling. Moms don't say they're doing things bad. Moms don't say they have anxiety about parenting. Like, all whatever people say we should not do, trust and believe your girl is the absolute fucking opposite. Absolute. So, like, I pray every day that we seek and be in a space of freedom, togetherness, and it all starts in your mind. Setting your mind free. Like, when I battled, I don't have as much anxiety. I'm not as anxious about things, but I definitely deal with depression. And as I deal with depression, there is some extremely high days, and I'm an introvert, extrovert. If I have to be social, I'm great at it. but it's not something that I do on a regular basis. I am social to the point where I have to be social, and I kill it. I'm great. I'm a great social butterfly. But in the reverse of that, it's like, most social people are like constantly social. I don't desire that. I am social when desired and when needed, and then when I'm not needed, I am reserved as heck. And in that, there is some high moments, then there's some low moments. And that is a constant up, down, up, down, up, down. I think all people deal with it, and how they accept it, how they acknowledge it, whatever. It's just like, that is a constant reality. So when you are talking about dealing with that and managing that, it's always about like finding a happy space and finding a medium and finding a space where you mentally are good and not really worrying about it, and putting yourself in a better place and thinking about things and talking about things and trying to divert your energy into something positive. Turn the car around, we going down negative lane. And I think a big part of that is creating a space where you're free, where you don't feel judged, where you're happy, where you're not getting negativity. Now, you're going to deal with the world. That's just life. Life's going to happen. Things are going to happen. I'm not saying that I'm not always prepared for those things, but at the same time, on a constant, everyday basis, it's just peaks and valleys. Great part about sports. And I know that. Sometimes the game is of peaks and valleys. Sometimes I'm consistently on a peak and I'm running on the hill and I'm good. And I might float that out. But sometimes I may go high and then drop into a valley for a moment. And the valley may be a long run. And then I get out of the valley to get to the peak. And so that is just how I kind of try to maneuver and manage that and deal with those things. But it'd be like, on an everyday basis, every day ain't a 10 out of 10. But now, creating those spaces, thinking about myself, being honest with myself, being transparent with myself, addressing emotion that may come to me as it comes to me, being in a better position to identify certain emotion, that all comes from those steps that I told you to do. But also it comes from like being able to identify what you've been going through, address what you've been going through, come on, get on out, and relieve. And I say all that to say, it's like you, again, whole thing. You are the key to your freedom. You keep playing like, hey, I need to do this, and hey, I need to talk to this person, and hey, I need to get this, and if I just get this, I'll have you. It's you, babe. You are the key. You can open and unlock. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some time. It's going to take development. It's going to take growth. It's going to take a little love. It's going to take a little care. It's going to take a little group effort. But understanding, you are the key to your freedom. And I think I'm just going to take my own words and my own advice of, that's what I want to think of it as. That's how I want to move going forward. As my birthday is coming on about 3 weeks away, and I'm in the holiday spirit, I guess, now. Because it's a lot to be grateful for. And I will never miss those opportunities. And like I said, I think it may be just the week and holidays and my students and just my family is, there's a lot of people that are appreciative of you. But just imagine this. They are appreciative of you, good, bad, and ugly. And you ain't even your best you yet. And so just imagine you pouring into you the way you need, allowing people to pour into you the way they need, moving in a way that is going to ultimately put you in a space of mental freedom, physical freedom, financial freedom, relationship freedom, you are going to be the key that gets you out of it. That's crazy. Crazy. But I say that all to say, and it's all the work that we're gonna do. We're gonna constantly do on this channel, and that's what I see for all my good people. Is the ability to be mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially free, parentally free, and not, as far as me, my hardest critic. And I think a lot of us, just keep the buck, we are our hardest critics. And I don't know. When I be knowing, I be knowing. I love y'all. Stay blessed. It's another week, another dollar. We almost down to Christmas. Also, this will be the episode before Christmas, so have a fantastic Christmas. Have a fantastic holidays with your family. Find something to be grateful for. My Hanukkah people, turn up. My non-Christmas celebrators, just enjoy your family. It's just so much. Tomorrow is not promised. And it's a great time right now, before New Year's, to start thinking about and start manifesting and start building your power to thinking about the things. Because everything that you put on your New Year's resolution, you feel like it's going to put you in a better position, set you free. So start thinking about it now. Peace!